how do you decide what style or type of home purchase would be right for you? And you got basically three major options. You have a single family residence, classic, normal, straightforward house. You also could go with a townhouse, which is a bit of a hybrid between a condo and a single family house. Or you go with a classic condo, all of which have different benefits, pros and cons to each of them. It really depends about what your goals are, what you're looking to do long term. So if you want something with lower maintenance, maybe a condo or a townhouse. If you're looking for something that's totally standalone with a big backyard and all sorts of other really nice features, then a single family residence is probably the best fit. So you're a budding real estate investor. You want to make your first investment purchase. Awesome, fantastic, good for you, amazing. What are we going to do next? First, we got to identify the property itself. How are you going to conduct this investment? Is it going to be through a single family residence, duplex, triplex, or a quadplex? Anything over a four family home in Austin, Texas is technically a commercial purchase. So you got to be using a commercial agent. I can help you with anything four families and lower. I can also help you identify rent rolls, identify new market opportunities, and where your money and investment is going to go the furthest, because there's a lot of different ways to get jammed up in investing in real estate in Austin, Texas. Should you consider a home that is in move-in ready condition or needs a little bit of work? Let me ask you this. How comfortable are you with performing some home projects? If you're pretty handy or at least good at watching YouTube videos on how to do most things, then go buy something that's maybe a little bit bigger or in a better neighborhood or has a little bit more of a design style that you're looking for but needs a little bit of TLC. I can tell you this right now. Doing DIY projects will make you feel so much more fulfilled in your home and really get you a product that you've always wanted, that you are really excited about. So don't be afraid to buy something that needs a little bit of work, needs a little bit of TLC. Any projects that are outside of your scope or comfortability, then we can use contractors, and I can get you in touch with contractors that are proven great track records, really, really highly rated, and people that you can be confident in using to do any type of project at your home. How can you establish the overall safety of the neighborhood that you're looking to buy in? It's tricky because anything could happen to anyone at any time. But there's some steps that you can take to make yourself a little more comfortable. Crime is reported on all the public City of Austin websites. Go in there, do some digging, make sure that there's not a crazy high spike, or that if there is crime, because there's a little bit everywhere, you're comfortable with. There's not shootings and stabbings, but maybe there's, a car got broken into once 6 months ago. That's a little bit more manageable than some more of the crazier things that could happen. And also, go to the house that you're looking to purchase at night, at weird times of day. During the day, on the weekends, in the evenings, at night. Drive around, go slowly, windows down, kind of get a feel for the neighborhood at different times of day. It will really provide a lot of sense of understanding and certainty into what the neighborhood is like that you might be buying in. How much home can you actually afford? At the end of the day, it really depends on what your expenses are, your take home, and your credit score. But all those questions can and should be answered by your mortgage lender. Work with them to figure out what the purchase price needs to be to make you comfortable with the monthly payments. But if they're a little bit high, we can negotiate them down. We can negotiate the purchase price down. We can include seller concessions. There's a lot of things that we can do to make your monthly payments a little bit more palatable, a little bit more manageable. How important is the age of the house? And should you be looking at newer homes or older homes? My personal opinion is it's not about the age of the house, it's how well it's been kept up. Buy a house from the 1920s and every single person that's lived in there is a carpenter or an electrician or somebody that took excellent care of the house. Let me tell you this, that house is going to be in better condition than any new build on the market, just about. So the purchase doesn't really need to be tied to the age of the house, more of the upkeep. How well was it taken care of over the years? What are some things that you should look for in buying an older house? I love older houses. They got a lot more character, they got a lot more detailing, and the quality of the construction materials can oftentimes be higher than new builds today. They can also have a lot of quirks. Weird wiring things, a funky roof, weird rooms, a quirky kitchen. Make no mistake, older houses can have a whole litany of weirder, unusual stuff. But for the most part, older homes can last a really, really long time. They've already been around for 80 years. If they've been taken care of well, that you can get a ton of life out of them and they have a ton of great characters. I love older houses and I think you would too. So what's the negotiation process actually like? Let me tell you this. What we do is we draft up the entire sales contract. I send that over to the listing agent for their review. And at that point, they can come back to us with their counter offer. Maybe that's on terms, maybe that's on price, maybe that's on concessions, this, that, or the other thing. But we're going to go through it line by line, piece by piece, to make sure that you are getting the best deal possible. And we're negotiating on the things that matter to you, and we're being a little more flexible on the things that you're comfortable being flexible on. So while we might have a purchase price in mind, what we might do is move a little bit faster through the closing process. Maybe getting that home closed on in 2.5 weeks is the difference between a sales price of a $10,000 difference. Whatever the case may be, it totally depends on the deal itself. It's a very, very individualized, bespoke process that is submitting an offer, reviewing the counter, and then finalizing an actual number and terms. Terms can really get you jammed up if you're not working with a really reputable, informed real estate agent.